I dig looking at you guys. This is the way this was meant to be. So, I'm just curious. Let me see here. All right. So, Dr. Betts, you can hear me, right? Thank you, brother. I just want to make sure, Dr. Cade, good, beautiful. All right. And Dr. Mascaro, where the hell did you go? My love to your father. By the way, awesome dude. By the way, did you take a bathroom break? I think you're taking a bathroom break. Can everybody see everybody? Can you guys like see everybody or no?
Yes.
You can. Wow. So in other words, you see everybody who's here. Let me see here. Oh my gosh, look who's here. Dr. Huddleston. Welcome to the party, Dr. Cooper. All right, so this is pretty good, right? Okay, so let's just go right into it, all right? And this is a first. We've never done this before, and there's a reason. And the reason, not that we've never done this before, there is a more distinct reason why we are doing this now. Why I am doing this at 8 o'clock, 8:06 on a Wednesday night. There's a reason for this. And you'll learn in the next few minutes what the reason is. In the simple fact that I sent out one email, as you know. That's the reason you're on this. I sent out one email. And unlike when we do webinars, and I send out, 7 to 10, right? When I do a webinar, right? We do a webinar, you're like bombarded with like emails, right? Not this time. This is different. And the reason it's different is because I wanted to do something that you won't forget. And that's not hype, that's reality. I wanted to do something that I've never done before for doctors that I can't say it any better than this, in the fact that you need this because you are the right doctor at the right time with the right message, hopefully with the right talent, the right communication skills, the right financials, the right conversions, the right processing, and the right vision. That's a lot of rights, man. That's a lot of rights to do what you wanted to do all along. And I will tell you this. I believe that there's actually two types of doctors on this live, call it whatever you want, Love Fest, share session, the deal. You can call it whatever you want. I will tell you this. There's probably a number of doctors that like got the email and said, number one, who the heck is this guy? I don't even know who he is. That's the minority of you. The majority of you know exactly who I am, and you know exactly who Dr. Kaplan is for a reason. And I think that's one of the best things about this is I sent out an email on Monday, and I'm looking right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 faces. I don't know. I could probably see more if I hit that button. But of the 4 faces I'm looking at, 3 of the 4 are part of our family. That's pretty cool. One of the other doctors is the son of one of our doctors. That's pretty damn cool. So yes, he's over there. He's that guy. Hey, Dr. Cade. So glad that you could join us. So in essence, there's really 2 types of doctors. Number one are the doctors that, you know, they get an email, they're curious, they want to see what's going on. You know, they're looking for more information. They're not real sure about what they want to do, when they want to do it, why they want to do it. They're doing okay in practice. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is not what it's about. Then there's doctors. There were doctors that are more like Dr. Balistracci, Dr. Kammerman, Dr. Betts, that understand, and I say this with all humility and all respect, the clock is ticking. And when I tell you the clock is ticking, what I mean is this. There is a tidal wave, a tsunami of goodness that you have in the palm of your hand. You could call it the big idea. You can call it whatever you want. But what I'm going to tell you is this. The doctors that understand that the future of your practice, your bank account, your success lies in two things. It lies in the disc market and it lies in the nerve market. And the reason I tell you that is because it is the disc doctors and the nerve doctors that are changing the universe in chiropractic because, and this is not hype, this is fact, they are consistently closing $5,000 cash packages, $6,000 cash packages, $7,000 cash packages in mass every single day, every day. And they're having so much fun that these are the doctors that if they want to retire, they're going to be able to retire with a very healthy bank account. The reality is most of them will probably never want to retire because they're having too much fun and they're making serious change. And I cannot tell you how many doctors that I get text, emails, voice messages from that are doing this so much better than they've done it, that are really in a state of wow. They cannot believe that the party finally came to them. They cannot believe they struggled for so long, beating themselves to the ground like a dog chasing his tail, on and on, you know, I mean, just in through the outdoor, just terrible. And then they had an awakening. And I'm not going to take the credit for that. Dr. Kaplan's not going to take the credit for that. But what we will tell you is that we're so blessed and so fortunate and so lucky and so honored to be able to attract doctors that see the future and understand that it's game on. I mean, it is so game on that these doctors are prepared with the right communication tools. They're going into rooms and basically what's happening is this. They're basically treating it like a sporting event. And by the way, are you digging that long sleeve Disc Centers of America shirt? Raise your hand if you'd like one of these shirts. This is brand new. Even Dr. Kaplan hasn't seen this. This is the brand new 2020 long sleeve Disc Centers of America shirt. Pretty cool. So we got so many surprises for you. I actually have some stuff on this call I'm going to give to you actually on this first ever, maybe only ever. I don't know if we'll ever do this again. It's 8 o'clock Wednesday night. I'm usually with my family, but I'm so happy for you because you guys are the ones that have made this your mission, made this your purpose, that you're going to do this and you're going to do it right. You're going to attract the cases that the other chiropractors can't get. It's a fact. You're going to convert these patients and you're going to close these patients. And you're going to do it with time-tested accuracy because it's based upon not always what you say, but it's based upon how you say it. And it's based upon the simple fact that you will never, ever, ever give in. You're never going to give in. And the reason you're not going to give in is because if you give in, you know the reality. The reality is they're going to take Vicodin. They're going to take Percocet. They're going to take Tramadol, and they already are. They're taking Norflex. They're taking Naprosyn. They're taking Flexeril. They're taking Soma. They're taking a lot of bad stuff. They're also looking at epidural injections. They're also looking at microdiscectomies, laminectomies, spinal fusions, cages in their back, metal. And you, doctors, are potentially the last hope. So exponentially, what you're doing here is you are saving. Imagine that. Honestly, for the first time ever in our profession, saving lives. Now, don't get me wrong. I went to the same school as you. I went to Life Chiropractic College. Many of you know it. I came out as a straight chiropractor. I really did. Straight, kind of, sort of. All right, so I had a little therapy. All right, so I had some diagnostic tools. All right, so I had rehab equipment. All right. But I was caught. I'll bring my children in here. I will bring my children in this room. And my children are so happy right now. One of my boys, as a matter of fact, just got back from the beach, and he caught a bluefish about an hour ago. I was on the beach, and he caught this fish I never saw before. And he was so happy. He's the one in chiropractic school, actually, and he's on a little siesta, so he's going back, which is so cool. But I'll bring them in here, and they'll tell you they never had a pill, they never had a shot, they never had a drug. Same is true with Dr. Balistracci's incredible son, Michael. I mean, this is such a beautiful blessing. It really is. And Dr. Teresa, I mean, it's just, this is the gift that keeps giving. So we bought into the message. We dig the message. The message is real. It's not going away. Above, down, inside out. The power that made the body heals the body. You know it just as good, if not better than me. But what happened was, when I would look a patient in the eye, and we would talk to them about subluxations, and we would talk about saving their lives, some would get it, some wouldn't. Not an easy sell. It's not an easy sell. The brain stops, the body stops. If the message from the brain to the tissue slows down, that's called a subluxation. We remove that interference, the message turns on, the body's self-healing and repairs. How cool is that? Pretty awesome, right? Well, that's great for your 8% of the populace. That's all you're hitting. Maybe 12% on a good day. That's the fact. Face the fact of the elephant in the room that nobody wants to address. Nobody wants to address this. Well, guess what? Their clock is ticking too, and I'll see, and you'll see them. The only difference is they're not going to live the life, the lifestyle. They're not going to have what you have because they didn't get the big idea. They wanted to hang on to something that, in essence, needed to be rebranded. See, chiropractic as a brand has issues. It's got problems. You don't agree with that? Well, go out and ask 100 people what chiropractic is, and I'll guarantee you get 100 different versions. Chiropractic's still the best thing going, always will be. The reality is there's a threshold that most chiropractors can't break through. You guys are different. Why? Because you looked at it a little different. You know, you said, well, gee, if they have a disc problem, they may be looking at all those other things that could be an orthopedic surgeon, could be a pain management specialist, could be a physiatrist, could be fill in the blank. Those lives are measurably affected by the simple fact that if they don't get the opportunity to see you, they're screwed. They are screwed. And the fact is that you may be their last hope. So what I wanted to do here tonight on this, and I don't know how much time we have. I'm going to go for a little bit. And initially I said a half hour, but I think I'll go a little longer. Is a few simple things. When I said that the email, I said I'm going to hit 3 points tonight. The first one is probably the question I get asked the most. And that is, how the hell did you retire when you were 40 years old? And that's real. In other words, when I say real, meaning imagine being in a position where you don't even have to get out of bed. I mean, that's the deal. You don't even have to get out of bed. You want to sleep in? Sleep in. Sleep in for weeks. Sleep in for months. Sleep in for a few years. Be like Rip Van Winkle. You can do that. Yeah. Because I work balls to the wall Dr. Balistracci knows what I'm talking about. Dr. Betts knows what I'm talking about. Dr. Cameraman, who's completely reinvented himself, knows what I'm talking about. Balls to the wall. You know what I mean? I just, I get up earlier than everybody else. I'd stay up later than everybody else because I'm so in love with it. I'm in love with no limits. So what I did was I built a practice that created liaisons with businesses, not necessarily individuals. What I did was I mastered the art of the mailing list. But the mailing list included sources, meaning case in point. I would make connections with nursing homes. I would make connections with schools that would teach RNs, LPNs, CNAs, rehab nurses. I would make connections. Believe it or not, this was freaky crazy. I may be the only one who's ever done this. I never heard of anyone else doing this. I actually created a liaison with the public health department in my county. Can you imagine that? A public health department feeding me, sending me patients. In other words, you call the public health department and they're sending those patients to me for their overflow. How in the world does that happen? Well, there's more to the story, but the reality was, I will tell you what not to do. All right. I could tell you I could tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you what not to do first. First and foremost, absolutely, positively, under no circumstances should you ever have the name chiropractic in your brand. Shouldn't do it. All right. Why? Once they hear the word chiropractic, you're typed, you're judged. It's just a fact. So if you want to be John Smith Chiropractic, good luck. You know what I mean? You're going to be working until you're about 300 years old. It's the truth. I mean, come on. It's the truth. It's just how it is. So what I did was I used names. I'm very big into like DBAs, doing business as, fictitious names. So if you remember my original name, and I showed a picture of this in Dallas, if you remember, which is coming up in November, National Spinal Decompression Certification Program. You better get your seat because we're bringing something you've never seen before. It's brand new program. This will be our 12th time we've actually taught it, 11 actually at Parker. And yes, all of those people that you know that were featured in this book will be there. Yes. And that's a good book, by the way. It's actually a great book. And if you don't have it, reach out. So what I did was I practiced under the name, ready for this? Health First. In other words, my original name in practice was called Health First. Why? Because I wanted it to look like a doc in the box. Now, do you know what a doc in the box is? That's kind of a slang, you know what I mean, for a urgent care center. I wanted my office not to judge. I didn't want people judging me. I didn't want to say, oh, wow, he's a great doctor up the road, but he's a chiropractor. And I think chiropractors are just kind of take care of back problems and neck problems. You know, I don't know, it sounds like you got something else going on. It sounds more serious. I don't know if you need to go there. That's not what I wanted. Hence the name. Hence the name, this Centers of America. Hence the name, Neuromed and Neurodoc, Neuropathy Treatment Centers. Hence the name, Prime Care. I mean, do you understand that? Now, you can have chiropractic under your umbrella of services, but pretty please, don't put that on your facade. If you put that on your facade, I will outmarket you every day of the week. I'm telling you, you are losing so much market share. I want to vomit when I see stuff like that, because it just tells me they're hanging on to something that is only hitting 8% of the market, 10% of the market, 12% of the market. So we'll eliminate all that. And I'll give you something else to think about. Here's another no-no. You want another no-no? Here's another no-no. Don't put the name Wellness Center in your thing. I know I'm shocking your world. I know there's people on this right now that are saying, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, I thought we were wellness people. You are. But the problem is this. The problem is when they think of wellness, wellness tends to be grouped into something known as maintenance chiropractic care. And if you understand that maintenance chiropractic care in the third-party payer system, hence insurance, is not looked upon favorably. As a matter of fact, as you guys know so well, when we go from a spinal decompression case of somebody who's completed the care, we never go into maintenance decompression. What do we go into? We go into the retainer program. Now, those are not all words. Where did the retainer package come from? That came from the dental profession. They own that. And you show me somebody who got who was prescribed braces, who didn't walk out with a retainer. I'd love to meet that person, because that doesn't exist. And if you don't, and if you're curious, you say, well, gee, you know, the dental thing makes sense. Gee, it sounds kind of close to his heart. You know, it's so close to my heart because, you know, we have two boys. One of our sons is in dental school right now. And he's rocking the world. I mean, he's listen, you remember you know, it's so funny when you're in school, you're fighting the good fight. And a lot of you guys know this. I don't say this a lot. As a matter of fact, I very rarely say it, but you know, I was on academic probation. Two of my first 4 quarters at chiropractic college, I was on academic probation. Bye, sweetie. See you. Have a good night, Dr. Balistracci. Hi. Look at you. This is the best part of doing this. And let me tell you something. Do you know how incredible your parents are? I could do a whole thing tonight on your parents. I love them. They're awesome. I'll leave it at that for tonight. Otherwise, I might get misty, as you can see. They're incredible. So you forgot the battles. You know, that's the problem. You know, the problem is for so many of you, you forgot how hard your ass got freaking kicked, how many boards you had to take, how many late nights, and you took it for granted. So now you roll out of bed, you throw your chiropractic facade on, you do your thing, and then you go home and you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again, and guess what? Your bank account looks the same way as your practice. It's not changing. You want to shock the world? Then you get into the disc business and in the nerve business, and you make sure that you hang out with doctors like Dr. Tim Kammerman, Dr. Paul Betts, Dr. Steve and Dr. Teresa Balistracci, and more. And you learn why there's such a heightened sense that at 8 o'clock, 8:30 on a Wednesday night, that they're here just looking for one thing, because you give these doctors one thing, and they'll do something special. And I think that's the most powerful thing about this whole reason that we're doing this. It's always been about one thing. I want you to walk away with one thing tonight. And so the thing that I want you to, and you can pick and choose what you want. If it means that you got to get up a little bit earlier, you got to stay up a little bit later, you got to work a little bit harder, you got to role play a little bit more, you got to come to boot camps, you got to come to workshops, you got to come to the Chiro event, you got to come to the National Spinal Decompression Certification Program, you got to come to the master class. I'm looking at all the doctors that do that. There's a reason why, because they just keep, they're like this. It's unbelievable, because they understand that the clock is ticking. So if it means one more form, in other words, a better form that's a financial. In other words, if I could show a patient a better financial form that shows 3 simple bullet points of what to choose from. And here's the secret. You want the secret? Raise your hand if you want the secret. I only saw 3 hands, and I'm looking at 4. Oh, there is your hand. Okay. Oh, there's double hands. Oh, more. This is the coolest thing going. I'm going to give you the secret right now. Never said it before. Never shared it before. Let's do it now. What the heck? I'm not scripted. Let's have some fun with it. So basically what you should do is this. If you want to know why our conversion rate was so strong, if you talk to the doctors, now some of you instinctively do this, but I bet a lot of you don't. And what we do is this. What you need to do is after you go over, you set the table. In other words, basically 3 things. Number 1, you raised the urgency. In other words, or what we call the scarcity. As you know, we call it the USA, the urgency, the scarcity, the authority. In other words, the patient, number one, assuming they already have watched your videos, they got an email or a text from you, they got some communication from you, they know about you, they went to your Disc Centers of America site, they saw, in essence, what you're about, that you're a disc specialist or a nerve specialist. Okay, great. Check that box. Now they're in your office. Now you have the MRI or the diagnostic studies as needed to be able to validate, in essence, the degree of medical necessity, the degree of urgency, the degree of seriousness with respect to their condition, if it exists. Boom, check that box. Then, at that point, what you're going to talk about is you're going to talk about options. And if there is a disc herniation, what's the first option the patient has? And you could say it in unison. What is it? Surgery. So the doctors that position the worst consequence versus your option, well, gosh, that's number 3 right there. So you've already checked those boxes, all right? So you've checked, you're right there, the table's set, everything's perfect. Now what you need to do is you're going to pull out a financial form that lists, so they can see it, everything that's included in their package. But before you do that, you're going to quote to them exactly what you're going to charge. Case in point, let me see, there we go. Case in point, let's say it's $5,000, okay? Now, I know a lot of you are more than that, but it's okay if you're more than that. You decide what you want to charge. But let's just say, for example purposes, you're at $5,000. So you're going to throw the number out. You make sure the patient is aware before you start explaining everything that they get. You're going to go out with the number first. Go out with the number first. Then number 2, you're going to go over everything that's included in the package, the amount of non-surgical spinal decompression visits that are included that you're prescribing, not recommending, prescribing. Get rid of the word recommending. Start using the word prescribing more. That will also include laser therapy. That will also include ice therapy. That will also, and wait till you see the new ice therapy that we're rolling out. That's the coolest thing going. And you can thank Dr. Kaplan for this, because this is, wait till you see what's being added to the package now, which is so awesome. If it includes some other forms of therapeutics, for example, maybe there might be some chiropractic adjustments in there. Maybe there may be some topical analgesics. There may be some home devices. You're going to go over all of this. So in other words, when I look at this and I'm a patient, I could see, wow, $5,000, and it includes this, and includes this, and includes this, and includes this. He's prescribing this. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. And I see everything in front of me. That's the way you have to do it. And then what you must do is you must come with the best prepay in the world. And the prepay reduction at that point will seal it. In other words, because you see what's happening is, let's think about the patient for a sec. The patient's saying, wait a minute, obviously I need this treatment, otherwise I'm looking at potential surgery or more drugs or injections. I'm not happy about that. I love this doctor's office. I love his professionalism. I love the look. I love the staff. I love the team. I love the packaging. I love all this. He told me it costs this. All right, I understand. Now I got to figure out a way to pay for it, but we'll figure it out. He's including all this. A, B, C, D, E. So every time you explain what you're including, in my mind, I'm saying, is this worth it? Is this worth it? Am I getting value? And by the time you're done, if you do it right and you get to the end, I'm sold on 5,000. I'm sold 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, whatever you presented, because every time you explain it and I see everything that's included, I'm validating in my mind. I'm saying yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And once I say yes, I'm there. Now, at the end, if you make the prepay healthy enough, I'm not going to go over that on this call because there are some magic numbers that work incredibly well. I'm not going to do that on this, but instead I'll do something else as a gift for you guys tonight for doing this for the first time ever. That's the way you have to do this. So in other words, that's the mental psychology, if you will, psychology if you want, but psychology in the sense that, yes, this is, if you treat this like a sporting event, and the simple fact that professional athletes have an approach, they have a system, they have a way that they are going to figure out how to outperform everybody else. And if you want to play in the big stadiums, in the big leagues, not the minor leagues, then what you need to do is you need to surround yourself with doctors that are doing this every single day. It's very funny. I got a text today. Great doctor. Maybe you met him. Oh, Dr. Tim. This is so wild because you and him came aboard the same time. His name's Dr. Kern. He's in Lakeland. So wouldn't you? I love it because, you know, real leap of faith. You know what I mean? So he gets his first spinal decompression table. He had to jump through some hoops to get it. Got the best table in the world. It's in his office. So today I get a text. Close my first package. Wow, incredible. Like on the board, right? Then like a half hour later, I get another one. Close my second one. Then like 2 hours later, boom, then I get another one. I close my third one. Like this, and then thank you. You know, I mean, I love to watch you win. Dr. Kaplan loves to watch you win. I figured out years ago that if I can, you know, really at the end of the day, all I had to do was surround myself with Dr. Kaplan. That was really the secret. You know, that was it. You know, I said, I'm never letting this guy out of my life. He's that intense. He's that good. He doesn't quit. I mean, his fervor, his passion, his energy, and his determination to help you guys win is off the hook. I mean, it is just, wait till you see what he's doing in November. And wait till you see, in essence, what's coming down the pike. And you know, for some of you doctors that are actually on this, and I can't see everybody. I know a lot of you. I know you're on this. I'll go back and maybe if I could check it later. I don't know if I can. Because this is the first time, as you probably figured out, I've ever done this. What a number of the doctors wanted was that they asked me if it was possible that they could be a fly on the wall. And for many of you that have been fortunate enough to really get a seat at something known as the Chiro event, you know what I'm talking about. And if you've watched some of the, you know, the emails and some of the stuff, you know that the Chiro event for the past 3 weeks has been sold out. The reason why was we did a thing at the FCA. Everybody jumped on it. It's the first time ever I've ever spoken for the FCA this year. They went wild. They went crazy. They loved it. It was really just nuts. I'm actually going to release a video of it tomorrow. So check your emails. For the first time ever, I'm going to actually show what I was doing on the stage. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And then we did a webinar, as you know, about 2-3 weeks ago, and all the seats were gone after that. This morning, I found out that there are actually, and this is not some type of like, oh, it's like one of those like scarcity things. It's not real. Trust me, it's 100% real. There's 2 seats left. It was a doctor actually who reserved the seat, bought the seat at the FCA in Orlando. Him and his wife is actually what it was, and they had to move it. They had to move the date. So if you're on this and you want to really get blown away, what I would do if I were you is go to this website. I'm going to give you a website. I should write it down, but you know, you should have like a slide at this point. It'll read www.Chiro, CHIRO event.com, thechiro.event.com. It is October 12th. It is, if you dig the direction that we're going in and you want to learn like you want to learn way more about how to market better, how to position yourself better, headspace, and more importantly, to do it at a 5-star location. Yes, it is the private club of the President of the United States. There's no political affiliations. The reality is it's just a 5-star place. That's a private club that Dr. Kaplan happens to be a member of. And he's the only one that's allowed to bring people in from the outside in to do this. Anyone that's ever attended has said it's the best single day of training. And if you ever hear me speak about it, I'll always let you know that of all the things we've ever done in our lives, all the things I've personally have ever done, it is by far, it is my favorite thing that we do. My favorite thing. And because it's the most transparent, the most authentic. I could really kind of tell you so much more than I can tell you on this. So go to www.thecairoevent.com. Try to grab a seat. I have a feeling after this little get together tonight, there will not be any seats left. So timing is of the essence. If you are serious about being serious about your future as a chiropractor, about your bank account, about your freedom to be able to do what you want, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, for as long as you want. That's my life. That is my life. And I'm so honored and I'm so fortunate to have a life like that for, gosh, you know, I mean, I retired 18 years ago. I only do this now because I love it. I love getting those texts from like Dr. Kern and all these other doctors. And I'm looking at them that are closing cases, 3, 4, 5, 6 a day. Imagine that. Imagine closing 5 cases a day at $5,000. Throwing $25,000 ETF, electronic transfer of funds, into your bank account in one day. These are the chiropractors that understand that being a specialist with the right training, the right medical research, the right clinical support, the right panache, if you will. In other words, because making you the celebrity, we take so much pride in all the certificates and awards that we throw upon you and create for you. And our marketing department, as you know, when you get marketing things from them, you're getting them right 24/7. These people, they don't stop. They don't stop. So if you're curious about learning more, and if there's a seat available, go to www.thecairoevent.com. Try to grab a seat there, because we're going to do some fun things that we've never done there before. One of the things, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to be giving something away, which we actually had made, believe it or not, for this. And if you're curious what this is a book, brand new. Nobody has this. Nobody. It's a book on VA benefits in chiropractic. And it was put together. I don't know if I could fan it. Maybe I could like show it to you, but this is the real deal. This is what's better than a webinar, where you can actually see, in essence, what this is all about. I can't tell you how long Dr. Kaplan worked on this thing. Who to call, what to do, how to present it, what to say, the list of all the organizations, how to do this the right way. He made a book. Nobody has this. If you are fortunate enough to grab a seat at the Cairo event, we'll put this in your hand on October 12th. And by the way, if you're not at the Cairo event, but you're part of our family, ding, 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 ding. This will be, how do you do the heart thing? Do the heart. I love that. You guys are intense. This, doctor, will be in your email box tomorrow at 9 a.m. You will have this whole book in a PDF tomorrow. All of you. All right? All of our family that's on this, our gift. We're so happy to give it to you. We really are. We have so many cool things to show you, to share with you, to give you, I mean, you got to see what's in the pipeline. Besides the new shirts for 2020, these are the long sleeve versions because it gets cold in New Jersey. It gets cold in Arkansas. It gets cold. It does get cold there. You bet. Unless I'm drinking right, unless I have a little of that fancy wine, maybe a little Chianti tonight, maybe the next time. I don't know if we'll ever do this again. But I'll tell you what, I want you to write this email address down. Write this email down. And if you write down newpatientnow@AOL.com, newpatientnow@AOL.com, and you send me an email if you have a question. I think most of you are unmuted. If you want to, just for fun, before we go, if you want to ask a question, raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Let me see, in essence, if, I don't know if I'm doing, even if I'm doing this right. Let me see. Oh, Dr. Ed, look at you, brother. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, wow. I should be in New Jersey with, oh, look at that. See, you can't do this on a webinar. You can't do this on a webinar. Dr. Cooper, I know you're not on video, but love to your brother. I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. And yes, you will have that in your email box tomorrow. And I will see you, both you and your brother, at boot camp on October 11th. It'll be a kick-ass one, obviously, as well. But the dates that you want to remember, obviously, is October 12th, the Cairo event. Go to the website, see if you can grab a seat. If you can, we're going to rock your world. We're going to blow your mind. And that, you know, and so at the end, really what I want to tell you is this. One of the things I want to share with you is this. If you're curious about why I've been able to kind of squeeze more juice out of this thing than most chiropractors, I didn't have any special skills. It's not to humble myself and play that modest card. I'm not doing that. Instead, what I want to tell you is I found one thing, just one thing that allowed me to be able to get my day in order. So what I did was I basically created kind of like a little system, if you will. And I actually made it available, and I called it the formula. And if you want it, if you email me at newpatientnow@AOL.com, I'll actually send it to you. Now, if you think it's long, it's not. It's one page. But it teaches you, in essence, how to set your day correctly. Because if you know, much like as we say in laser, you know, if you have good cells, you'll have good tissues. And if you have good tissues, in essence, that's healthy, right? If you have bad cells equals bad tissue equals inflammation, edema, swelling, damage. In essence, if you're going to treat knees and shoulders, you have to talk to them about good cells and bad cells, and that's what the laser does. Remember, language and communication is everything. Being able to put something in the patient's own ability to understand. You can use big words, but take the big words and move them to great metaphors and great analogies and great examples. And that's one of the great things, as you know, that Dr. Kaplan owns. You know, that's one of the great things that he's done so incredibly well in terms of teaching you how to communicate better. He's a master communicator. And for the doctors, in essence, that understand, often it is on one word. It is on one inflection. It is on one tonality. In other words, it's a very specific, very targeted, very acute mission to be able to overcome an objection and to take a no and to turn it into a yes. That's how you win this game. And that's how our doctors are winning. They are taking, when somebody speaks, they're taking a step back before they take a step forward. They're listening acutely at where the objection is coming from. Because, heck, come on, let's be frank. Financial, probably a good percentage of it. But my favorite thing that Dr. Kaplan does at boot camp, and you know what I'm talking about if you've been there enough times, is when he goes around the room and he says, give me your worst objection. And he won't take lunch. Remember, we don't go to lunch until every objection is answered. Every objection. because you have to own it. And then after a while, it's like, you can't wait. Like, bring it on. Just give me your best shot. Give me like your worst case scenario as to why you can't start treatment. And I promise you, I will overcome it. Now, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not saying that. I'm thinking that because I have what the biggest players in the game have. And you know what the biggest players in the game have? They have a freaky amount of confidence. Freaky. They will not take no for an answer. They're so focused on making sure that they're going to get that patient from A to Z that they're willing to, they'll take a bullet for these people. That's the level of commitment that you want. Why? Because that's what you would want in your doctor. That's how serious it is. And the doctors that take it seriously, these are the doctors that are winning the game. And these are the doctors that are running multi-million dollar practices. You know who they are if you've been in our universe and our circle long enough. It's freaky. And they're the cool. And it's the funniest thing. The more money they make, the more like humble they get. That's the funniest thing about this whole thing. They get like more, they get like, you know, they just get like more like, yeah, this is like the greatest thing. I'm just so lucky. I just can't believe like I found this. This is like, no, they earned it. They earned it because believe me when I tell you, this is an exclusive club. It is. It's an exclusive club. It's not for the faint at heart. In other words, success in chiropractic is not for the faint at heart. You know, you want to do it the same way, like, and you want, like those other chiros are doing it, good luck. All right. And I mean that wholeheartedly because the worst thing in the world, the worst is when, and this is painful to say, but the worst thing in the world is when a chiropractor has to close his doors. And you know what I'm talking about. You know chiros that have closed their doors. You know what happens? This is what happens. They don't disappear. What happens is they close their door and they become an associate doctor. That's the way it works, right? Happens every day. Happens every day. And then an amazing thing, like if you put all these people in a room and you ask them, what the hell happened? They will all share something in common. They'll all have a reason why it happened. They understand. It's not like denial. They understand. But the fact is that the other doctors that said, you know what? Time is of the essence. I am a specialist if I'm going to take care of spinal disc conditions. So I can pull them away from the orthopedic surgeons, the pain management specialists, the neurologists. I can literally pull them away. Or I'm a nerve doctor. So in other words, no more Lyrica, no more Cymbalta, no more gabapentin, no more of these, no more. And because the case value of both of those is equal. It's the same. Sometimes it's more, actually. This is the magic of the profession that you doctors have chosen. This is the life and the lifestyle that I've been so fortunate to be able to have because I wasn't going to take no for an answer. I wasn't going to stop until I reached my goal to be free. And the only way I was able to get free was I put great people in my life. There's nobody negative in my life. Nobody. They don't exist. Nobody. Anybody who's negative, they don't come into my universe. It's like Star Trek. It's like I have this like incredible like force field. Nobody penetrates it. And I'm very protective of it. But the ones like the guys that I'm looking at right here on this call that get it, these are the lovers. These are the givers. These are the doctors that understood the power of the DR. They understood the power of the title. They understood that the title is priceless. That everybody in your life at some point, including us, are going to get sick. And when that time comes, the only thing I wish for you, it's the same thing I wish for my family, is that you know who the best doctor is. And I mean the best. That when you go there, you have total FCB. And in case you forgot, faith, confidence, and belief that that doctor is going to help you get to tomorrow. That's what this has always been about. And guess what? For your patients, so many of your patients have that same FCB in you. You were their last hope. They were all in on you because you were all in on them. That's the power of the magic of it. And let me tell you, one day I'll tell you a funny story one day that I actually gave up the title. I mean, imagine you become a doctor and you give up the title. I did. I gave it up. And then I had an awakening. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do another one of these, and I'll share one of the craziest stories that you have ever heard about having something, voluntarily giving it up, and then finding the real value of it, and then being so lucky to get it back. And just like a relationship, somebody important in your life, just like your health, just like something that you value, if you, any reason, you're put in a position and you lose it for any length of time, maybe forever. If you're lucky enough to get it back, your attitude is so different. You got such a different focus on how you value it, because you know why? Because your perspective is different. Your perspective is so different. This has always been about perspective. So all I cared for you tonight is I want you to have a heightened sense of awareness tomorrow. I wanted you guys to be able to raise the game of perspective. If you don't have a seat at the Chiro event and there's any left, go to www.thechiroevent.com. This will change your life. I can look you in the eye. See, I can't say that in a webinar. I could say that tonight. I can look you in the eye and tell you it will be the single greatest day of your practice career, because for many of you, it changes good to great. And then what it does is it changes great to the best. And the last time I checked, I'm looking at a lot of doctors that all they ever cared about was being the best. And that's why this is so much fun for Dr. Kaplan and myself, because of the simple fact that we like running with the best. And no regrets when you put your head down on the pillow at night, that you know you left it on the field in your practice, in your business, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as a physician, as their doctor. You left it on the field. You left it on the field. And be objective. Do what I do every night. I don't tell anybody this. But I'm going to tell you this tonight. Would you know that at the end of the day, when I go to bed at night, I do one thing. Nobody knows this. Nobody. But what I do is I ask myself one question. I know that you're gonna think this is nuts, but I rate my day 1 to 10. I do. And my goal is to get as close to a 10. I don't know if I ever get to a 10. But what I do know is I have a lot of 8s and a lot of 9s. And if for some reason something took me off my path that day, then I have to be objective. I have to be like really honest and really, really objective and say, you know what? Today was a 6. That sucked. Okay. Tomorrow I'll do better. So I want you to ask yourself, because it's the most honest question. And let me tell you, what does it mean? It's not about the money you made. That's part of it. That's part of it. It's about your health. Was I able to exercise today? Was I able to share the love that I needed to with my family and with my friends? I got mud. Was I able to do something different? Was I able to change somebody's life? Was I able to do something for my patients that historically was never done, was never ever done before? And that's me. And if that's the case, then what I will tell you is, this. What I will tell you is that that's the big idea. So be honest, right? Rate yourself. Be honest. Try to get as close to a 10 every day. If you're not, tomorrow's a new day. but that's my goal. And let me tell you something. When I get like the 8.5s, 9.5s, I sleep so good. I like put my head on the pillow. I said, you know what? Today was a completely fulfilled day. I checked every box. I checked every box. Not enough hours in the day. I checked every box. Today was a home run. But guess what? Tomorrow's a new day. And I'm excited to do it again tomorrow and surround myself with the best of the best of the best. Listen, life is energy. You get energy from people around you. That's why you're on this call tonight. That's why you're on this, if you want to call it a call, this love fest. That's why you're on it. You wanted a little energy. Well, guess what? I got a lot of energy from you tonight because I feel what you're feeling and I know what you're thinking. If you're not at the Chiro event, shame on you. And for all of our family of doctors, November 16th, November 17th, Dallas, Texas, National Spinal Decompression Certification Program. This will be a great one. New content, new material, new stuff. And, you know, the goal is to make it a 10. That's our goal. So I cannot thank you enough for doing that. I don't know if we'll ever do this again. If you liked it, do me a favor. Send me an email at newpatientnow@AOL.com. And if you dig it, maybe we'll do this again, but we'll do it kind of like in a little bit of a different way per se. But like I said, if you want this, New Patient Now, ChiroEvent.com, amazing book on veterans benefits. Our family of doctors that I'm looking at right now, this will be in your email box tomorrow at 9 a.m. Enjoy it. And it's awesome. Thanks so much. I'm sorry for going over tonight, but we had a lot of fun. And I cannot wait to see you in person. And on behalf of Dr. Kaplan, thanks, Dr. B. You guys are incredible. Just a lot of fun. I'm looking at Dr. B, Dr. B, Dr. B. Very cool. Dr. Tim, you're a butt kicker. You're doing it right, brother. Love to Lynn. This is the fun. This is the juice. This is what it's all about. Dr. Cooper and your brother. Cannot wait to see Dr. Pate as well. And all our best. And I will see you guys soon. Have a great night. Go for the 10 tonight. Be honest. And if not, tomorrow's a new day.
Thank you.